Hi everyone, Carson here, and welcome back to another episode of our Minecraft Villager Dungeon Nightmare series in Godot. In this episode, we're going to be adding a parallax background to our game. What a parallax background or a parallax effect is essentially adding depth to our game. So the further something is in the background of our game or further away from our perspective or our camera, the slower it moves. And what this does is create an effect of depth and also immersiveness. It uses a whole bunch of math, but the really cool thing is in Godot, there's just another child node that we can add to our villager to make this really cool effect happen. So let's jump right into Godot and get started. Alright, so this is really easy. I'm just going to go over to the villager node and I'm going to add something called a parallax background to that node. Press create, and this is a good spot for it right underneath the camera 2D here, attached to the villager. And now attached to the parallax background, again, I'm going to add something called a parallax layer. And then to that, to add an actual texture to it, I'm going to add a sprite. So over here, I'm just going to drag and drop background 2 over to the texture, and there it's now in our scene. It's really big now because our background is 4,000 by 4,000 pixels. What I'm going to do is first go over here, the offset, and turn off centered. And what I'm going to do is hold shift and scale this down. I want to also bring it up so that the bottom of the background's at the base of our starting platform here. I also want to make this a little bit bigger so that we have room at the top when we get up to these higher parts of the map. So I'm just going to scale this up to be about here. So now what we want to do is add a mirroring effect. So how the parallax background's also going to work is as we move, it's just going to repeat itself and mirror itself. I'm going to go over here to the parallax layer and over to motion, under motion, where you see mirroring. I'm going to change the X to 800 as it is, and you can see it's now added another background right beside it, mirrored it at X800, and Y I'm going to leave at 0. So what you can do is you can fiddle around here. You can see there's a small little line where it's kind of repeated at the 800th parallel there, but what we can do is actually resize this to kind of match a little bit better, but still make it so that we have enough clearance at the top. So I think if I try and fiddle with this enough, I think that's actually pretty good. It's hard to see where the line is. You can see it a little bit there, but it doesn't need to be exactly perfect. So there we go. So let's just test this and see how it is. Let's save first and test this out. And now you can see that we have a background, and it also repeats itself. It goes on forever and ever and ever, which is really kind of cool. The next thing we want to do, though, you can notice here, is that there isn't actually any parallax effect happening. Our background isn't moving, and it's not adding really any depth to our game. So the one thing that we can do is go back to our parallax layer, and over here into motion again, where you see scale, we want to change this to around 0.1. And what this will do is slow it down 10% to what our actual character is moving. So let's save this again and play the scene again. And now you can see that the background is moving a little bit, but quite slowly because it's kind of making it look far away, and it adds this really cool depth effect to our game. You can play around with that scaling in the motion portion of the inspector to whatever suits your needs for your game, but I think I'm going to leave it for right now at 0.1. And, oh, I died. But there you go. So now we have a parallax background, and it looks really awesome. Adds a lot of depth to our game. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos that we'll be putting out. In the next episode, we're going to be going over how to add background music to our game. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!